Alright, this is another one of those Google Hangout things. Pretty much announcing, mainly to my subscribers, I'm no longer doing any Call of Duty videos. I'm focusing on other games from now on, also provide maybe some comedic content. I've been working a lot lately, and I finally had a day off. Well, work's subjective, but still. Been busy. Playing other games as well, like War Thunder, which is a free-to-play game on like PC and PS4, so the World War II like airplane and also tank shooter, so that's worth it. Regrettably, the only multiplayer shooter I can play, well, comes out in November and October, so I have to wait for Rainbow Six Siege, Star Wars Battlefront, which I'm be doing a lot of videos on that because I am deeply concerned about that game. But I'll talk about that tomorrow. Today is pretty much. I honestly thought Treyarch had been able to pull it out of the abyss. I knew there would be some fuck ups, there always is, but there's no way. There's absolutely no way for them to save it. Even if they had Gunsmith working, the more I hear about specialists, the more I hate it. Not just because of that glitch ability, which is more overpowered than any weapon with 5 attachments. To be able to transport yourself a few seconds where you once were. They just took. Sorry, I'm a little upset here. Well, more disappointed, I should say that. More extremely disappointed that it just makes no damn sense. Nothing here makes sense. How would we develop technology to allow for teleportation? And that's what it is, teleportation technology. It's just, this isn't Star Trek. I mean, this is like, we will not have Star Trek like teleportation or any type of transportation technology within 40 years. That's physically impossible, and it also creates another, issue. Is a philosophical issue is if you use teleporter, does it kill you and does it create something else in your place? That's another theory about that, but that's not this video. I wish it was, because that's a far more interesting conversation. And just like transhumanism, that's an interesting conversation. If you upload your quote consciousness to a computer, is that you or just your shadow? I think it's your shadow, but some people say you survive. When you die, you just wake up in a computer. I don't think that's possible unless you literally put your brain in there. See, I'm talking about more interesting things than fucking Call of Duty. That's how bad it is. That's how terrible this video is. And you know what? A terrible video is perfect for this terrible series. Because I literally thought Gunsmith would have saved it, but they fucked it up. Then I heard more things about specialists, and that just fucks up the balance. Pardon my language on all of this. It's just, I cannot imagine such BS. So I can't believe this. And here's the ironic part. I was waiting for Black Ops 3 since Ghost. Then I heard Advanced Warfare was coming out, and I was upset about that. And I can't believe this one game I am refusing to willingly get. Because you can't control what games people give you sometimes in the holidays. You could try, but sometimes they don't listen. But at least in this year, it's a lot easier since there's more variety I can ask for. And more games I can get. And it's just, Specialists just ruin it. It's almost like, at first I thought Specialists was just going to be some Another confusing mess in multiplayer. You get a slight ability, not that important, barely going to use it, and it would have been just like in Call of Duty Ghosts, where you get to buy to pay for a Captain Price, have a Captain Price skin or a Makarov skin, and then everybody would be running around with that, and that type of confusion you would have. But we're not even going to get that, are we? No. We're getting something worse. We're getting skin packs. You have limited amount of skins that are not faction specific being used, and now they have special abilities on top of that. Most of them break the balance of the game. Or just flat out silly, like that one guy who can like jump in the air and plant spikes on the ground and cause some type of tremor to kill a bunch of people around him. Hulk smash. Why would the military develop that or use that is beyond me. It's now a cartoon. At least in Black Ops 2, that had some criticism. I actually enjoyed it. But I recognize the criticism because there were problems with that game. It was a little over the top with the story, but I liked it. At least they were pushing the story forward with the multiple endings, multiple routes. They were actually attempting to revamp single player. And, at the beginning, every single player mission, you could pick what weapon you have. And when you complete the game, you can bring in the future weapons into the past, which I thought was kind of interesting. I liked it. And bring past weapons into the future. And, very interesting. They pushed it forward. Infinity War didn't follow suit. They stuck with the linear crap. Advanced Warfare stuck with linear crap. And Black Ops 3 probably going to try to do this campaign again. Try to revamp it with their co-op mode, but they have butchered it so much, it's not even worth it anymore. I even saw several interviews done during E3. How they pretty much said, do we even need a creative class system? And they pretty much took it out before they brought it back in. So that's how we got specialists, most likely. So instead of having a generic soldier that you can pretend like that is you underneath that uniform, or you can customize it any way you want. Now you don't even have that option. You have to pick a character and play as that character. But what if you don't want to play none of them? What if none of them appeal to you? What if none of them really have that appeal? And that was really the main moment for me. It was like, I don't want specialists. And you butcher Gunsmith. The story's probably going to be crap as usual. I don't want the fancy wall running. I could play other games for that. But, not going to get it. Oh well. Maybe we could fix this Q&A thing one day, but oh well. Because I noticed I have a viewer. But there's not really much I can say for the final COD video. I'm done with COD. If I get it, hopefully it'll be like in the bargain bin. I'm curious, but even then I probably end up giving it back or not buying it and buy a better game. I mean, we got Rainbow Six Siege coming out. We have Fallout 4. We have, what the hell is it? God. Oh yeah, Star Wars Battlefront. I mentioned that earlier, and I'll be doing some videos on that. That's great. I'll touch it up here. My main issue is, from what I heard from Angry Joe, that the flight controls, in typical Battlefield fashion, are crap. That they're very confusing, and it's they don't know how to do flight controls. DICE is they cannot do flight controls to save their life. I have played countless. In my own personal opinion, I'm just going off Joe's assessment. I have played several games that have good flight controls. Very simple. One's the throttle and turns, and the other is it's turning. No, the other is turning and maneuverability. One's for maneuverability, one's directional. But they kind of confuse it in like Battlefield, and honestly, I think DICE just needs to start playing War Thunder because that has some good to some extent. The camera work they need to work out the camera issues on War Thunder, but War Thunder's got some good flight controls. It's meant as a simulator after all. Even hell, Blazing Angels, that's an old game from last gen, first and second one. Great flight controls, very arcadey. And not really much in simulation, though they do have a simulation option. They should follow those examples and not stick with the panicky mix they have. I mean, there's a reason why aircrafts are falling out of the sky in that game. And why we're going to be seeing a lot of kamikaze runs in Battlefront. My other issue is apparently the maps are too small. Hopefully that won't be an issue. But then again, there's not enough players. 20 versus 20 sounds like a good number, but it isn't. Not if you're fighting an actual battle. Just flat out isn't. You need the 64-player maps, like they were in Battlefield 4. Those were fun. While broken, it was fun when they patched the shit out of it. But yeah, there's a lot of issues with this series, and I'll be making some videos on that, and I secretly hope they add in bots in the multiplayer like they were in previous Battlefront games, because that's my main issue. See, if they would have called it Star Wars Battlefield, I wouldn't have an issue with this game. I wouldn't have an issue with Battlefront, because it isn't attached to the Battlefront license. But now it is attached to the Battlefront license, and we're only getting 4 planets. So that means Galactic Conquest mode is out the window. So we're automatically getting less content than we did in the first Battlefront game alone. I'm not including Battlefront 2. We ain't getting space battles, but we are getting squadron battles, what I'm hearing. But still, that isn't really much. You just copy and paste air superiority from Battlefield 4. You twits. Oh, I can't wait to see the airborne kamikazes in that match. Yeah, X-Wings and TIE Fighters ramming right into each other, just like in Battlefield 4. It's great. And also, no Clone Wars. Some people be happy, hey, no prequels. And we'll be getting like a few maps for DLC for free. But I think that's just one DLC. I'm not sure about the rest of it. Now, if every DLC was free, I would draw my main complaints. But somebody tells me it's just a movie-based DLC, so we get to see the post-Endor battle, which the Battle of Jakku, which I'm hearing is the final battle of the Galactic Civil War. So I'm curious, will they have that new armor in there that we seen in the Episode 7 trailer? I don't think so, but it would be nice to see. Also, it looks like you can customize the armors a little bit, not by extreme amounts. I know on the Rebel side you can pick your race, your species, I should say. Race is a subgroup of a species, at least in my opinion. So you get to pick your species as a Rebel, and I'm hearing rumors you can play as female Imperials as well, and also can customize their armor slightly. Not sure about that. They haven't released too much information. But I am secretly hoping that they add in Dark Troopers. Because, oh wow. Playing Battlefront 1 and 2, the Dark Troopers were awesome. They were drone troops, pretty much. They had, the Phase 2 drone troopers. mean Dark Troopers. They had, and that at least in those games, they had jetpacks. Well, it isn't really much of a jetpack, more like a jump pack. You know, it helps them jump further. And they had arc casters, like a shotgun that shoots electricity, pretty much. An arc rifle for those who play Killzone. And that was always fun to play as, and you always felt invincible. And when you see a Dark Trooper on the battlefield as a rebel, you always target him first. So hopefully they'll have them in there. I wish they would have the class system, but it looks like they're doing the Call of Duty style creator class. Or at least that's the rumors. Which I ain't complaining, but at the same time, it just doesn't feel like Battlefield. It doesn't even feel like it doesn't feel like Battlefront. Hell, it doesn't even feel like Battlefield. Except in some regard. I just hope I just wanted, if they should have focused on having their servers take more players, more than what the plant and the fauna and the plants. So I am tired. Been kind of resting today, so my grammar has been destroyed. I can't give you the best grammar possible. Problem with live broadcasts. I can't edit this. Wish I could, but I can't. And I wish I could fix Q&A. I'll find a way to fix that later. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Call of Duty, I'm done with it. I'll be making some Battlefront videos. And I'm going to be making, I promised earlier when I first started this, to make some comedy videos to myself and to some friends I know. So I'm going to start doing that. So you might see more COD player plays such and such. Making fun of the Call of Duty fanboys again. Putting them in a situation like I did with Far Cry 4. I put a COD player in Fallout 4. So I'll probably focus more on that. If I could figure out how to take some captions, I could probably do some PC stuff. Need to figure that out. Because I've been playing Men of War, so Assault Squad, Assault Squad 2. I'm hooked. Just that map editor alone. Oh wow, I could do so much with that if I could just find a way to record it on my laptop. But yeah, enough rambling from me. This is MegaRaptor18. This is my final COD video. I am not addressing this to the COD community or Vondahar because I don't give a flying fuck about them ever again. You bitch to people like me about overpowered. Oh, having 5 attachments is fucking overpowered. But you ignore the glitch ability and going back in time for a couple of seconds. Yeah, they ain't OP. No, they ain't OP at all. Twats. Well, that's it. I'll try to get work my Battlefront video, so see it sometime this weekend. If everything goes according to plan. MegaRaptor18 out. Hit the